Bonjour, mon ami. Welcome back to Dining Room Dance Party, your favorite, sometimes fashion, yapping, semi-podcast, lots of talking, hence the word yapping, podcast, YouTube video channel. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Today, we're discussing something that I have thought about for a very long time, and that is the different tiers of men's fashion, or I guess fashion, well, yeah, the different tiers that men go through when it comes to style. Now, we will go into depth on all these tiers, but I will say up front, those tiers would be bad, good, boring, and interesting. Now you might say, Connor, that's a really weird way to rank men's fashion. Wouldn't you say like good, bad, or bad, good, great, amazing, or something like that? Well, I would do that, but you see, style is not so much something that you can place in tiers in my opinion, but rather it's more of a spectrum of intentionality. In that sense, I'm not really judging people's taste with this tier list, right? Like whether you have good or bad taste. What I'm judging is the thought that you put when it comes to your clothing and your outfits and your stylistic choices. It's less of a tier list and more of a journey. Most people start in the bad section. I'd say most people in general, but men specifically, most of us start in the bad section. We kind of aspire to the good section. And then sometimes we get stuck in the boring section, and only a very, very few small amount of people ever take that leap and transition out of boring into interesting. In essence, it's not a tier list of best or worst, but rather a tier list of fashion bravery. And to do that, we're going to use a metaphor from one of my favorite plays slash movies, technically movie first, or technically book first, which starts with none other than a young girl in the boring old city of Canvas. That's right, y'all. Get ready to take a journey with me along the yellow brick road while we discover what it means to dress well. So let's start with that first section, the bad tier. This is the no effort zone, right? This is Dorothy in Kansas. Yes, if you haven't already figured it out, the metaphor that I'm talking about is going to be the Wizard of Oz. But the bad tier is essentially Kansas. This is Dorothy when she's in Canvas, when she's in Canvas. Oh gosh, throwback to being in school. But this is Dorothy when she's in Kansas, right? She's in a boring, dull, lifeless, gray Kansas. And everybody starts somewhere, just like Dorothy started here. And the funny part is when you're in this, you don't really know what's beyond that, in the same way that Dorothy is completely unaware of the entire world of Oz and any of the magical crazy things that are going to happen. All she knows is Kansas. And in the same way, when you're in this bad tier, that's all you know. And I want you to think of the bad tier as essentially just not caring about your style, right? Hey, I don't have any thoughts about what I'm gonna wear today. I'm just gonna throw on a pair of pants. I'm just gonna throw on a shirt. I'm just gonna walk out the door. It's like the kind of people who don't want to shop for clothes. It just doesn't matter to them. And I want to say that this isn't a bad thing, right? There's plenty of people who I love and adore who live in this section. And again, they just love it there. They like other things, they have other interests, other hobbies. So being in the section is not necessarily bad, but just talking about the spectrum that we're talking about of style and fashion, this is where basically every guy starts. And then we have something fun happen, right? This big old tornado sucks us up. Maybe that's you seeing an outfit on Pinterest. Maybe it's you seeing something in the wild, some crazy, fun, ridiculous outfit. Maybe it's you seeing something amazing in a TV show, or maybe it's just as surface level as like, hey, I noticed my friends who dress really well get more attention from girls. And let's be real, as dudes, like that's happened. That's been thoughts that have gone through our head. I know that's definitely happened to me in the past. I don't think that was the catalyst for what got me into fashion, but I definitely recall having those thoughts. And so whatever that is, there is something that kind of just transports you and brings you into this newfound journey of fashion and style. And here's where we touch down on the yellow brick road, our journey into becoming stylish, right? And on this yellow brick road, we meet our first companion, and that is none other than the Scarecrow. Now, the Scarecrow perfectly exemplifies the good phase, because this phase can also be called the thinking phase. And just like the Scarecrow, who only wants a brain, right? He wants to be able to think. This is the phase where guys start to try. They start to think and wonder, maybe I can start dressing. Maybe there is something more. And this is what I would call the good phase, right? You're out of the bad phase, you're into the good. You're trying. You're in a place where it's, hey, I'm putting effort into making my style and my fashion fashion look better, right? I at least want, maybe it doesn't look amazing, maybe you're not putting on the greatest outfits in the world, but it's, hey, there's thought and intentionality going into this now. Like now I really care what I'm putting on. This is basically the dude who, and again, none of these are shots. I promise none of these are shots, y'all, but these are basically the guys who just discovered Pinterest. They just discovered fashion TikTok. They just discovered all these new pages, and it's like, it's fun, it's exciting, and they're new, and they're thinking through all these things. They're trying to figure out color combinations. They're trying to figure out silhouettes, just different things like that. Like it's just, everything is new and exciting, and they're just trying new things. The scarecrow wanting to have a brain is the same thing as you gaining awareness of, whoa, maybe there is more to this than just wearing a cargo shorts, or a cargo shorts, than wearing cargo shorts and a fedora, or my company work uniform and a random pair of Skechers I got for $6 or something like that. You know, again, not that these are bad things. I want to say, again, these are not shots at anybody, but this is just, you know, kind of that process on the journey. Now, this is a step forward in the right direction, but it still emphasizes logic over taste and like feeling, right? Like there's a lot of, I think, feel and personality and kind of like intangibles that go into dressing once you get further along the journey. But the first step is logic. It is the logical the logical processing. Oh my goodness. Why can't I say this word? The logical processing of how do I make my outfits better? Like Dorothy, we hang out with the scarecrow for a minute, but then we keep walking forward, right? We progress down our fashion journey along this yellow brick road. And the next person we run into is the Tin Man. And the Tin Man exemplifies the boring tier. See, the Tin Man, what he wants, I guess I realize some people might not know the story of the Oz, oh my gosh, I can't say words today. Some people don't know the story of the Wizard of Oz, but when Dorothy meets the Tin Man, what he wants is a heart. He's looking for emotion and connection. And at this point in a man's fashion journey, it's like, hey, I want to look good rather than just avoid looking bad. It's like, hey, I want to dress well. I don't want to just not dress poorly. And so you start dressing in a way that's more acceptable to others, right? It's more pleasing to more people because, again, you want to look good. You want to be perceived as being a person who dresses well, which, again, nothing wrong with this. So in this phase, people become stylish, sure, right? They put on some great outfits, but there's no soul there. There's no, and again, take this with a grain of salt because there are people who this is genuinely their style and they love it, and I'm super happy for them. But in my opinion, it just looks like you don't have soul in it, right? It feels like you dress more to be liked. You dress clean, polished, but it's more about looking good to other people rather than what you like and what you actually want to put on. I'd say the best emphasis of, or the best like examples of this would be like the old money or the minimalistic aesthetic, which again, a lot of people love. But, and this is the very ironic part of this, a lot of people love it not because it's bold, but because it's safe, which again, ironically, this will often get the most compliments out of any of the tiers. And the reason for this is because these kind of outfits signify like social competence, right? Like I understand what other people like, what other people think looks good. And so basically when you start putting this on, it's like, hey, yeah, I'm socially aware enough to understand what people want to see. This is why I think a lot of people get stuck here, is because it's the most rewarding, right? The algorithm rewards it the most, brands reward it the most. And honestly, as a guy, girls reward it the most too. Like one of the most talked about aesthetics that a bunch of women online enjoy is the old money aesthetic.
Not sure why I'm exposing myself like this, but when a guy wears this, 10 times hotter. A t-shirt and trousers. Yep, that's it.
Here's how girls want guys to dress, part 1. Let's start from the basics. It's so easy to look good and so simple. You want to look like you're cozy, comfy, and like not trying. Honestly, don't overcomplicate it. It's so easy. In the beginning, just go for basics.
If you're a boy and you wear clothes, which, oh my god, I hope you do, then this video is for you. Coming from a girl, I'm going to tell you the best outfits that a guy can have that will guarantee any girl will notice you. Number 1, you're going to hate me for this. Get a white linen shirt.
And to be fair, a lot of the pictures that they use, I'm sure if you're a guy, you notice this, are typically very tall, very handsome, very in shape men, which is a completely different topic. And no, I'm definitely not bitter about that. I'm not saying that because I'm bitter and because like, whatever, like I'm not tall or ripped or like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Totally just kidding. But that is, again, like I said, another topic for another day. But let's be real, like a lot of girls love this style. They love the look of this. And so a lot of guys just end up stopping their journey here because it's safe, it's easy, people love it, girls love it, the algorithm loves it. You always get compliments, you always feel like you look good. And I feel like there's definitely more to discuss in this. There's definitely more dissecting that we can go into, but I'll just, you know, say that for now because I don't want this video to be a bajillion years like my videos always are. But to be honest, I think that this this tier shows that sometimes the best outfits are the least expressive. And the reason for that is because they're just more applicable to more people. More people can relate when you show less of your personality. When you try to appeal to a broad amount of people, then obviously you're going to appeal to a broader amount of people. And the easiest way to do that is to keep it clean and simple, because there's no standout features that would really like alienate one person from saying, oh, actually, I don't like that, right? If I just wear a black t-shirt, some pleated trousers, a belt, and some loafers, like who's not gonna like that? Like it's gonna look good. There's nothing really expressive or crazy or daring that's going to really like I said, alienate some people. And that's not to say that I don't do that. Like I wear stuff like that. Actually, like look at this. The only thing that's even remotely interesting about what I'm wearing today is this scarf. Even remote, like this is a very, I'd say this is a Tin Man outfit. I'm wearing just a basic white linen button up, some pants, some white shoes, and white socks. I'm not trying to say that this is a bad place to be, because like I said, this entire video is not a critique of taste. It's an evaluation of where people are on the spectrum of intentionality when it comes to their clothing, right? I don't think it takes a lot of intentionality to dress in like these old money or minimalist aesthetics. I mean, they're minimalist for a reason, right? Because they're very minimal. And I don't think that that takes a lot of effort. And so all that to say, this is the place where I feel that the most men just stop their journey. Again, a lot of them for good reason. That's fine. It's a journey. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just hey, they stop here because why go any further, right? I get compliments from other people, from women. I get more attention on social media. I look good, I feel good, and so it's a perfectly fine and reasonable place to stop. There's definitely a lot of good exemplifiers of this. I don't know if y'all have seen Frugal Aesthetics video about like him asking girls what like their favorite styles to see on men, and it's funny because all of them say like, oh, I just want to see him in a very well-fitting white t-shirt and a well-fitting pair of jeans. Like that's it. No expression of that, no style, no nothing. I just want to know that he has put thought into what this looks like on his body and just enough awareness to know that, hey, this actually does look good on me. And while the majority of men stop their journey here, there are a few different people who continue the journey and meet our next friend, the Cowardly Lion. Great examples of people who have taken this journey to meet the lion would be people like David Bowie or Wisdom K on social media, actually, now that I think about it. I would say Lady Gaga. Obviously, I said this is a men's fashion video, but like, I mean, who cares really? Like, fashion is so for everybody. But I'd say Lady Gaga is another one. Like, there's so many examples of different people who have made this journey and met the Cowardly Lion. And the Cowardly Lion is it's really funny, honestly, how this lines up so perfectly. I can't believe when I was thinking this, I was like, I can't believe how well this works out. But the Cowardly Lion is the interesting phase because while it may be polarizing, it is very freeing. This is the tier where your personal taste outweighs what public opinion is. The phase where what I put on my body is more important to me and what I think and how I see myself in the mirror rather than the person on the street who's gonna pass me and think about and have maybe whatever thoughts they have regarding what I'm wearing. The Cowardly Lion in the story of the Wizard of Oz, he wants courage, he wants guts, he wants the freedom to be able to not be afraid. And this is in my opinion, the final ingredient in developing amazing, interesting personal style. Because dressing interesting takes guts. It takes courage. It takes the ability to disregard what other people around you are thinking when you can feel their eyes on you, when you can walk down a street and you can just feel the glares of people around you for better or for worse. See, at this stage, you're willing to risk people not understanding the outfits that you put on. You're no longer dressing to impress other people like you are with the Tin Man. Rather, you're dressing to express yourself. And now I want to say this tier is very this tier is very polarizing because you're taking risks, which means that you probably have a lot of outfits that come across very poorly to the public. A lot of outfits where people are like, that looks terrible. Like, why would you wear that? But on the flip side, you also have plenty of outfits where the public is like, wow, like, I can't believe how, like, I don't even understand how you began to put that outfit together. Like, I don't understand how your brain processed wearing all of these things together, right? So it's very polarizing. While it's very freeing because you're able to express yourself and not care what others think, it's still very polarizing. And again, that's why I said that this is not, this list is not a, or this tier ranking, whatever, is not an evaluation of taste and personal style, but rather just where you are in this journey along personal style. In this journey, when you're with the Cowardly Lion, whether or not your fits are well received or they're not well received, people are turning their heads. And this is my favorite area in fashion. This is what I wish everybody looked like, right? In this tier, when you're walking down that street, when you're walking down that yellow brick road, people at the very least are turning your heads. Kind of in the same way that people say like, oh, there's no bad publicity, there's no good publicity as long as people are talking. It's kind of similar in that vein where in this stage, you're walking down the street and people are looking at you for better or for worse. They're like, whoa, that's like I don't see that every day. Like I wanna, like, whoa, like I just wanna look at that. And I think that's the most exciting, it's the most fun place to be in fashion. Again, you'll probably get a lot less amazing public reception. Maybe the top point, oh my gosh. Yesterday was the 4th of July, y'all. I was in the sun for like 8 hours, so my brain is just completely melted, like literally melted. But sorry, maybe if you're in the 0.0001%, all of your outfits are well received, but even then, like nothing's perfectly well received, right? Like anybody can wear an old money aesthetic and almost everyone is gonna say like, oh, that's great. In the interesting tier, it's more of like a real lifestyle tier where you have to feel it in real life. It's not something that translates well online because it just can't be photographed. It's in the same way where like I've only been to a couple runway shows in my life, but seeing models walk down the runway in the clothes, like getting to experience the movement of the clothes, getting to see them actually move around in action, see the life in the life inside of them is completely different than just seeing a photograph of it online. Like seeing a Vogue runway photograph, it's just not the same. You like have to experience it to understand it. And that's why it doesn't often get rewarded well by the algorithm either, is because they just don't translate as well online. When you see it in person, it's so completely different. But either way, I digress because the journey does not end here. We still have one more person to meet. And this is interesting because you're like, Connor, wasn't there only 4 tiers? Well, yes, there are, but there is also a realization, and that comes when we meet none other than the wizard himself, Oz. When Dorothy meets Oz, she thinks he's the most magical, powerful being in all the land, right? That's what everybody thinks. But the crazy plot twist of The Wizard of Oz is that Oz, who's supposed to be this hero, who's supposed to be able to get Dorothy back home to her family, turns out to be fake. You see, by the end of this journey, when Dorothy gets there, she realizes that the answers to getting home was inside of her all along, right? She had the power to take herself home whenever she wanted. And this is just like having found your true style, your true sense of expression. When you get to the end of this, you realize that, hey, I couldn't buy my style. There's nobody who could just hand it to me. There's no trend I could follow that would get me there. When you realize that this wizard is fake, right? The algorithm is fake. The opinions of all these other people around you are fake. They don't matter. It's so freeing, and you realize you didn't need anyone else to build your style, right? You were building it the whole time along this journey of this yellow brick road. Taste isn't found within trends. It's not found within the opinions of other people. It's something that you personally grow and you literally develop with every single outfit that you try, every single outfit that you put on. Every time that you intentionally try to put an outfit on, you are growing your taste and you are traveling down this yellow brick road. After going through all of these different phases, right? The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, you realize that you don't need the validation of the wizard. You don't need the validation of the algorithm, of the people around you. You realize I can express myself. I can be free. I can have fun. I can wear whatever I want, and who cares what the guy next to me thinks? Most guys start off in Kansas, and their journey towards personal style is the yellow brick road. You'll need some brains, you'll need some heart, and eventually you'll need the guts to try something that nobody else would. And by the end of it, that's when you realize that you actually had taste all along. What a perfectly sappy wrap up. Isn't that great? Isn't that just a wonderful wrap up conclusion? I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I feel like I'm like narrating, I don't know, like a movie or something like that. Like just some kind of sappy little conclusion, I don't know, thing for you. Check out my Darth Vader mug, by the way. I've been drinking my breakfast in this all the whole time. Oh, that's gross. Genuinely terrible. Anyways, I hope you found this video fun and helpful and engaging. I thought it was the most fun video, the most interesting metaphor I've ever had in my life. I literally was like a eureka moment when it came to me. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this works perfectly. I can't believe this. Let me know in the comments where you are along your personal style journey, right? Which friends you've made along the way. And I know because a lot of people are going to probably ask me about this. I'd say that I've met the Tin Man and I'm kind of just getting into small talk with the Cowardly Lion, right? We have a little small talk. I don't know him too well yet, but we're getting there, right? We're starting to take a little more risk. We're starting to have a little bit more fun, be a little more interesting, a little bit more out there. And it's a fun place to be. Like I said, it's really polarizing. Man, I get complimented just as much as I get called a very derogatory term that is very derogatory. But either way, people noticed and they said something, and it's fun. It's a fun tier to be in. And again, like I said, this is a journey. You don't like get to one tier and only wear stuff from that tier, right? Sometimes I'll go back to any other tier just to do it, because every day is a new day. Every day is a different day. We're all human. We don't all need to be fashionable all the time. Or I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I feel that way. I don't even know what I'm saying. This has been a long video, and like I said, my brain is fried. Anyways, let me know what you think. I've loved having you here. Love seeing y'all as always. See you in the next video, and deuces.